Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Nicola and I am going to be your host for this afternoon. Today we are celebrating the stories, secrets and hidden wonders of Edinburgh. Do we mean Greyfriars Bobby, Edinburgh Castle, the Royal Mile? No. We are talking about 4 communities that each have their own wonders to share. Now, Think Circus has been working with performers and children groups and families in the 4 different communities to create circus performances and celebrate local legends and histories. But before we go any further, the 4 community groups that we've been working with were Sandy's Community Centre in Craigmillar, Colinton Tunnel Mural Project, the YMCA Edinburgh and North Edinburgh Arts. And there's those 4 communities just popping up on the screen now. And we also need to thank Sustrans who have supported this project and Transport Scotland for their Arts Roots Fund is what's made this possible today. So as I said, Think Circus have been working with children and families in the 4 community areas to make some amazing circus performances for us now. So we're going to have a look at some of these performances along the way and also see just how easy it is to travel between these 4 corners of Edinburgh using the cycle routes. And to show you live and as that's happening, we've got some trusty cycle cam riders as well. And I think we should say hello and meet them today. So first up, cycle cam 1. Jonas, are you there?
Hey Nicola, yep, I am here down in the water Leith with my friends, the pigeons. Lovely to see you.
The pigeons treating you well?
Yeah, not talking back too much, but all right.
Excellent, fantastic. Now you're not on your own, Jonas. We have another cycle cam rider, Naomi. We're not actually sure if we can get to Naomi right now. The wonderful problem with Wi-Fi is that sometimes it doesn't quite work. Let's see if we can connect to her or not. I'm thinking it's a no. Doesn't matter. That just means you'll have a surprise in seeing Naomi a little bit later on. Now, Jonas, you are going to get ready and see if you can spot some live circus performers happening today. Is that correct?
That's right, yeah. I'm down at the water Leith and hoping there'll be one around the corner somewhere. So I'm going to set off in a couple of minutes and see what I can see.
Excellent. Well, I think I'm going to let you do that. Have a little look, see who you can find, and we'll check in again with you shortly. Sound like a plan?
Sounds perfect. See you soon, Nicola. See you, everyone.
Bye, Jonas. Amazing. So while Jonas continues his little journey around the area of Leith and the waters of Leith, let's see if we find out what the children of Leith that we've been working with, the group down there, have created for us. I think it's something pretty cool and interesting. done, Leith group. That was amazing. Now, do we have? Oh, Cosmo Blake says it was exciting. It was indeed, Cosmo. I also thought the last goblin there was the coolest goblin around with those sunshades on at the same time. And we've got Kat saying that this loving this performance by the Leith kids, such good hoop skills too. There were some excellent hoop skills, some good ribbons going on there. And hopefully you all noticed that there was a definite battle going on between the goblins and the fairies. Now, in old fairy stories in Leith, Leith was said to be home to something, a sea goblin called a shellycoat. Now, the shellycoat is a curious fey creature, rarely spoken of and even more rarely sighted. But he has been sighted in 2 different parts of Scotland, down in Ettrick in the Scottish borders, and as we saw in that performance there, in Leith itself. Now, Sir Walter Scott describes the shellycoat as a spirit who resides in the waters, belonging to a class of bogles, who has given his name to many a rock and stone upon the Scottish coast. The shellycoat had a coat made of shells that would clink together while he walked, and you could summon the shellycoat by saying his name 3 times, by saying a special rhyme and running 3 times around a rock, which used to be near the Citadel Youth Centre on Commercial Street down in Leith. And the only way that you could escape a shellycoat was if running water was between you and the goblin in question. Leith actually has a history of fairies and legends, and there's a really interesting story about the Leith fairy boy who used to make his way up Leith Walk every Thursday night, I think it was, and play music and dance with the fairies under Carlton Hill, and many people would try and trick the boy and capture him to stop him from doing such a thing, but he always managed to elude his captors and play with the fairies. So you should definitely check that story out when you get a moment. Now, we met Jonas earlier and he was on the spy for some circus performers, so I think we should cut back to him and see if he has found any. Jonas, are you with us?
All right, Nicola, how are we doing?
All right, Jonas, you're showing off cycling and being on the camera at the same time there.
That's right, yeah. Well, I'm actually just wheeling the bike just now, trying to avoid those shellycoats that you've been talking about. But I've just arrived in a clearing right by Leith Walk here, where 2 performers are just about warming up for their show. We have absolutely, we have Amy and Sia. There they are, giving us a wave.
Hi guys, Amy and Sia, lovely to meet you in some gorgeous, like fishwives looking costumes there, is it?
Absolutely, yeah. Oof, they've gone upside down.
Right, I think it's time to check them out in more detail.
I would, Nicola. It looks pretty interesting.
Excellent. Check back with you after. For now, please enjoy Amy and Sia with their Leith fishwives. Thanks, Jonah. Amazing. Well, we'll check that out. Ah, there you are, Jonas. I wasn't sure if you would be joining us there. Carried loads of fish in their baskets on their backs, but I did not expect another human being.
No, too right, and they're still going.
Look at
Just
that.
a bit of...
Sorry, Jonas, carry on.
No, just a bit of a warm down, I think, after that sterling performance. What a thing to see. Amazing.
Now, we're all stuck at home, Jonas, and had the joy of watching it through the media webcam, but are there any people that happened to come across the performance while it was going on there with you?
Yeah, there was an incidental birthday party around the corner that got an amazing view of that live. So, wonderful birthday treat for somebody.
Fantastic. Well, listen, since you're such an expert on the cyclocam now, I wonder if you fancy heading on to the next part of Edinburgh and maybe we'll catch up with you a little later.
Sounds grand. I'm going to hop on the bike. I'm going to get there as fast as I can, so I shall see you there.
See you there. Thanks, Jonas. Bye. And bye to Jonas's bike as well. Now, that was an excellent performance. We've got a lovely comment coming in. We love acro. Yes, we do. And fishwives. And we absolutely love the fishwives. The fishwives, who were the fishwives of Leith? They really are real life heroes of the area. Now, they were iconic. Fish had always been a staple of the area and quite often the only meat that would be eaten by the poorer people within the community. And Newhaven was one of the main fish suppliers for centuries. And the fishwives of Newhaven, every day they would travel down in Newhaven up to the middle of Edinburgh, firstly by going through Whitingloan, which is now known as Newhaven Road, and then through Broughton Village. We know that today as Pilrig Street and the top of Leith Walk, and then up Leith Wynd before paying a petty fee, a customs fee for their fish to enter into the high street. They would carry on and enter the high street by Netherwell Port, and for safety, they would always travel in company, for they were much less lawless days back then, and they would beguile the long and toilsome streets of Edinburgh, singing in chorus as they made their journey, and singing songs that their grandmothers had sung before them, and it was an absolute beautiful community spirit. Now, there's a description that I found of the fishwives, and it says, accustomed to an outdoor life from their early years and in all weathers, the fisherwomen are well known for their strong and healthy figures. Yes, woman power. I think that's a beautiful description. Beautiful. Now, I said a little bit earlier that they carried heavy loads of fish in baskets on their backs. They were known to carry anything from 25 to 50 kilometres, sometimes kilograms, sometimes even more. Can you imagine walking all the way from Newhaven with all of that on your back, and then it's uphill all the way, isn't it? And there's a story I read by a poet called James Ballantyne, who had offered to help lift one of the fishwives' loads onto her back this one time. And in doing so, he commented on just how heavy this load actually was. And she just turned round to him and cheerily replied, "Oh aye, but ilka blade of grass kicks its hand rapid. And so this became the inspiration and title of a poem that he wrote in 1856. And it's got several verses to it, but I'm just going to read out one of the verses, the first verse to you now. So this is how it goes. The poem is Ilka blade of grass keeps its ain rapid by James Ballantyne. Confide ye aye in Providence, for Providence is kind, and hear ye all life's changes with a calm and tranquil mind. Though pressed and hemmed on every side, he fath and ye'll win through, for ilka blade of grass keeps its ain rapid. So I highly recommend that you check out the rest of that poem. It's beautiful, and it really does just sort of also lend itself and give the impression, the ethos that the community and the women had in these times. We just got to get on with it. We're fine. And I think they really are the real life examples of Leith's motto, which is persevere. Now, talking of Leith, we are here today thanks to Think Circus putting in all the work with all the different children's groups in creating these circus performances. And Think Circus is also based in Leith. Now we have our very own Cosmo, who's done a secret performance in maybe one of the lesser known parts of Leith, in one of the side streets. So I think we should all sit back and enjoy this little performance by Cosmo. Some serious juggling skills there by Cosmo. Thank you very much. Do you know, I think it was about a year and a half ago I started decided to teach myself how to juggle, and I'm still only on the three balls. I really need to up my game. Now, I said to you that Think Circus were based in Leith, that was filmed in a secret location, and it's like a hidden door behind him there. And I just thought actually I would let you guys all know that there are many hidden doors, over 500 hidden fairy doors, and a trail throughout Leith. So even though we've walked the streets in our local area so many times over the last year, definitely recommend you getting out there exploring all those nooks and crannies that you've not yet been able to see. Talking of which then, how do you get from Leith to other parts of the city? Well, I think we should see how Jonas is getting on and check out the route that he is taking. Let's have a look on the map and see if we can find out. Amazing, what a beautiful route, what a beautiful journey that it is indeed. Now, he is making his way over to North Edinburgh, and if you guys want to do any of the psychopaths that are on today's event, you can go to the Think Circus website and you can absolutely check out how Jonas and Naomi have managed to get from all these different parts of the city. And they're amazing psychopath and psycho networks. They're like 80% traffic free as well, so definite excellent family days out. Now, I said to you that Jonas is making his way over to North Edinburgh. Now, when he gets to the end of that part of his journey, the psychopath's going to come out at the North Edinburgh Red Bridge. North Edinburgh, being our next community, just like Leith, is filled with community spirit and also has a strong fishing history. And Granton Harbour was built there in 1836. Now, that happened because there was a debate about whether Edinburgh needed a larger harbour and port or not, and then finally the decision was made that Granton would house the second one. Now, its official opening coincided with the coronation of Queen Victoria, and as such, the middle jetty of that harbour was named after her. And when she came to visit Edinburgh in September 1842, she landed at her self-named pier. And then by 1845, the harbour apparently provided exceedingly low-cost steamboat services that used to travel between Stirling and Granton. Fancy stuff. And I also wouldn't mind if they still did that now. Sounds like quite a nice day out, don't you think? Now, that was then in the 19th century, and since then, the area between Granton and Newhaven has been designated as a Site of Special Scientific Interest, otherwise known as a triple SI. In the late 19th century, incredible fossils were discovered there and have been ever since. And the area is described as exceptional quality of preservation of the fossils and is dominated by crustaceans of the Carboniferous period. So these crustaceans, they date back to the lower Carboniferous period, somewhere between 359 and 323 million years ago. Now, over at North Edinburgh Arts, the kids group there that Think Circus has been working with, they were working on creating a performance about maybe what some of the sea life looked like back then. So sit back, relax, and we shall enjoy North Edinburgh Arts children's performance. Amazing, well done, North Edinburgh. Adam Bowers, he loved it. So did I, Adam, very much. Some excellent aquatic moving and grooving dance moves going on there as well. And just like looking like they were having the best time. Do you know, I particularly enjoyed the moment, the tension building up to going under that skipping rope. I have yet to be able to run into a moving skipping rope with such confidence. I don't know if I ever will now. Now, I think it's definitely time we check back with Jonas and our psychocam, and we shall see. You know, we gave him a challenge to see if he could make it all the way there in time, and you have excelled yourself, sir.
I tell you what, Nicola, it's a warm day here in Edinburgh.
Are you feeling safe, sir?
Flushed but lovely. How is everything over there?
Well done. Yeah, absolutely brilliant here at Think Circus HQ. We've just watched a gorgeous performance from the children of North Edinburgh, but I feel like we're now in the mood for some extra live circus. Don't suppose you see anything round about you, do you?
Well, I'm looking around, Nicola, and I'm seeing two shadowy figures in the distance. Could be some live circus going on in a second, could be.
Shadowy figures in the distance. Potentially Val and Charlie, but I think we're going to need a closer look. Beautiful performance. Didn't that just you're right there, Jonas?
Wonderful. I'll tell you, it's a windy day here. I don't know how Charlie managed to keep that on his chin. That was impressive.
I know. I was complimenting Cosmo on his juggling skills earlier, but Charlie's shown me I need to up my game even more.
Absolutely has.
What I'm able to juggle and not juggle, and well, that Val, she can do a toy.
She can wave. They're just doing a little warm down in the background there. Oh,
have you managed
wonderful.
to cool yourself down somewhat, Jonas?
Just about, yeah. We had some tech issues as the cool down commenced. I'm sure you noticed that, but
we might have done, but it doesn't matter. That's the joy of a live event. It's fine. Now that you've cooled yourself down, though, I wonder if you could jump back on our national cycle networks and get yourself to the next location.
Can do indeed. Not back on the NTN 75. That's me.
Excellent. See you then. Bye.
Goodbye.
Amazing. Oh, that was a very beautiful performance by both Val and Charlie. Catherine is looking great, Charlie. Yes, he did. Beautiful. And it's so beautiful. It's from Cosmo Blake there. It was indeed. Beautiful place. The sun is out. They're celebrating. And it is a fantastic place to celebrate. Because if you're from North Edinburgh, then you may know the area that Charlie and Val were performing in as the Banner Bridge, where people hang banners to wish friends and family happy birthday, good luck, any other positive messages they want to share with the community groups there. And speaking of banners and community, there's a really big network of community spirit in North Edinburgh. And North Edinburgh Arts, they work with a lot of different community groups on various different projects. One of which is a group called Stitch in Time, who embroider quilted panels, like the picture you can see in the screen now. And they do lots of different projects and topics with their embroidery. But they very recently teamed up with Granting Writers Group, and they collaborated together to create poems and different texts that could be incorporated into these quilted panels. Now you can see just on the screen there, and we're going to go closer for you, there's a short poem that someone has written that's been incorporated into this quilted panel. So I'll read that out to you now. One day I looked out my window, view Inchkeith Island to the east, the hills of Fife due north, then west to Three Bridges. Beautiful, lovely, and what gorgeous work, and an excellent way to capture community coming together and working together to create gorgeous artwork that can be shared amongst their own community and, like today, the wider field. Now, where am I going? We're going to go and see how Naomi is doing, actually. We've not managed to meet her yet, but let's check out where on the route she is. Amazing. So Naomi has made it all the way over to Craigmillar. Now, just like North Edinburgh, Craigmillar is a place where lots of community come together on many different occasions to show just what they can do during tough times and during the good times. Now, Think Circus, we're working with Sandy's Community Centre in Craigmillar, and I think we should have a little look and see just what they've been making and getting up to. Here's Craig. Sandy's excellent circus skills there. Adam says, oh yeah, great circus skills by the Craigmillar group. They really were. It's lovely to see some partner work there as well with the hula hoops and everyone just really focusing and starting to build up their skills. And actually, you might not know this, but Craigmillar had its very own greatest showman and was the birthplace of UK community circus as we know it. Reg Bolton set up the Craigmillar Community Circus and became famous for teaching his circus from a suitcase. And I think we can clearly see that the Craigmillar spirit of circus is still absolutely thriving there. Now, we believe that Naomi is still with us in Craigmillar. However, we're having trouble connecting to her camera. She has, though, gone up to Craigmillar Castle Park, where she has stumbled across a circus performer ready to pay homage to Reg Bolton's Suitcase Circus. So let's check out what Kat's up to, and maybe we'll get to see Naomi after. done. Kat has got some serious skills. That was amazing. And Chim says she's amazing, makes it look so easy. She really did make it look easy. She made one look easy. She made 7 look effortless. And Catherine says lovely. And it was absolutely gorgeous. And Rosella, amazing. Indeed, it was pretty captivated there during that entire performance. And an excellent location for the performance, right in front of Craigmillar Castle. I'm very sure that Reg Bolton would be extremely proud of Kat's tribute to him and circus there. Now, Craigmillar Castle was also the home to the Craigmillar Festival that started in 1962 and ran right through to 2002. And it began thanks to a woman called Helen Crummy. She had wanted her son to learn the violin at school, but the headmaster at the time said it was hard enough teaching the pupils how to read, write, and do arithmetic. Basically, they're not good enough. We can't be dealing with having them try and learn a musical instrument. So Helen Crummy spoke to other parents and mothers of the school that her son was at, and they set out on a mission to prove the headmaster wrong. And so the Craigmillar Festival Committee, later known as the Craigmillar Festival Society, was born. And that showed just how much skill and energy and community spirit was in Craigmillar. The motto of the festival grew from a sculpture that the Craigmillar Festival Society commissioned in 1976, and it was the centrepiece of their festival that year, a huge concrete giant that they named Gulliver. That was also a massive play park that the kids could play on. And the motto of this giant of Gulliver was, "The giant who shares and cares." And everyone that I've heard speak about the festival stresses how much it was about community and caring and sharing, just like Craigmillar still is today, that sense of showing just what they've got and what they can do there. Now, it's a shame we don't seem to be able to connect to Naomi, but that's okay. We know that she's out there. We know that she's on her way. Sometimes we're getting the feed, sometimes we're not. But we need to head off to our next place. Just before we do, though, we're going to have a short break. And while our cyclocam riders can show you just how easy it is to travel between these 4 corners of Edinburgh. They're using the National Cycle Network. And remember, if you want to check out these routes as well, just jump on the Think Circus website and it's all there for you so that you can go out on a day out, possibly even tomorrow. You can also follow the link below to see how to travel on these links. And remember, it's almost traffic free, 8% traffic free. Sounds good to me. Right, little break video. Here's the routes coming up, and I'll see you back here shortly. Same with her. Here she comes. Possibly. I've got a black screen like she could be there. Naomi, can you hear? Oh, I'm hearing some stuff. Naomi, can you hear us? She's like, Cyclocam 2, the spirit. Possibly we can. We're not going to be. Hey, there we go.
Yes, can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you. How are you? Oh, turns out Craigmillar Castle doesn't have maybe the best network coverage. I'm just glad we managed to see Kat's performance earlier. We will see if we can check back into her, but in the meantime, I think we need to figure out where Jonas is with our Cyclocam 1. Let's take a look at the route he's been making while we were watching Craigmillar. Amazing. Well, no mistaking where Jonas is, but just before we do go back to him, we believe we've got Naomi again, and it would be really lovely to speak to her. So we've got a Rosie there, our site manager. Hi, Rosie, site manager. Naomi. Hello, Naomi. Can you hear us, Naomi?
Yeah. Yes, can hear you. Yes. Hello.
It is so lovely to prove that you are that cycle. How are you?
I'm so chaos. Yeah, good. I want to get Kat in the background. There we go.
You have her, and then there's a hula hoop above your head. There she is. There she is.
We could need to go on this side. There we go. Kat's moving. I'm moving. We're all moving. Yeah.
How was your cycle out to Craigmillar?
So wonderful. So wonderful. I met so many nice people along the way as well, because lots of people are doing the kilt walk. So lots of very chatty people. Met a lovely man on a recumbent. It's great.
Just having a nice week. Yeah, do you know, you make a really good point as well, actually, Naomi. Just because, yes, it's the National Cycle Network, but we can walk the routes as well. So you don't have a point.
Yes.
You can still get out there and enjoy these beautiful, stunning pathways to get all around the city without the busy roads and traffic.
Yeah, it's been a bit delayed, but we made it.
You made it perfectly. And do we need to go back and see Jonas again? We've seen have you managed to get any unsuspecting members of the public to kind of catch a glimpse of Cat's performance?
Oh, I mean, there have been quite a few people walking past, actually. Show you around. So this is a great bit where people come out. There. People come out here. And we've just got some people coming down the hill now that I think will be interested to see Cat's performance.
Well, lucky them. Oh, well, I'm going to let you drop this feed so that they can enjoy the performance if they come along and are caught on camera unsuspectedly. Thank you so much, Naomi, for beasting it over there on your trusty cycle seat, and we will chat to you again in a bit, maybe.
Great, pleasure. There's Cat.
Bye, Naomi. Bye. Looking good. Oh, amazing. Well done, Naomi. What a beautiful day she's got for cycling about. Now, we are going to go back to Jonas. I didn't mean what I said. There's always time for more Jonas. He is at Colinton. And actually, his video also showed just how easy it is to get around on foot as well as cycling. Now, it's definitely worth getting to Colinton because there's a huge artwork there that's in the tunnel, and you could see it on the route there that we showed that video of where Jonas was headed to. The tunnel is not only famous though for the murals. Some people say that you can spot a ghost train's tracks on days when it rains. So I think that just means you have an excuse to go there on a sunny day and check it out again when the weather's not so cheery. We were working with a group of volunteer children in Colinton, so let's have a little look at what they have been making for us. Oh, well done, Colinton. That was gorgeous. Gorgeous. The spirit of creativity and imagination there by just a whole mix of different children from the community. It wasn't one specific group, it was just a whole bunch of kids that came together and jumped on the opportunity to take part in a few workshops and have some fun together, which I'm hoping you are getting is the sense of this entire event. And it's been beautiful seeing all the work and effort that everyone's put into it and all of these communities coming together. We are getting closer to the end, but of course it wouldn't be final and finished without checking out if there are any circus performers in the Colinton Tunnel region. And I have it on good authority that Antonia is there, just showing us how we should celebrate the spirit of creativity and imagination. So perhaps after we watched Antonia, Jonas will jump back on and let us know how the rest of his cycle route went. But until then, please sit back, relax, and enjoy Antonia. Beautiful, Antonia, well done. It just looked like there was an audience of more than just humans there. That dog in particular was very interested in that point. That was hilarious. Do we have a Jonas with Antonia right now? Let's find out. Yes, we do. Well done. How are you, sir?
Very well, Nicola Shepherd. Beautiful sunny day. Absolutely gorgeous, I tell you.
Isn't it? It is the most amazing afternoon. I'm so glad it's turned out this way for everyone.
Absolutely. And the dog was as interested as you thought. And they're just walking past as we finished there. A kilt walk just went by. So they got a nice showing as well.
Naomi was saying the same thing. A few kilt walkers are hopefully making their way towards her and we'll have a nice wee show as well. A bit of extra something to keep people motivated on their journey, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
There's Antonia in the background there, still doing her thing. I also thought she just had a very gorgeous smile and I was captivated by watching her there as well. Jonas, you've had quite the journey today, cycling all the different cycle networks. Have you enjoyed yourself?
Had a grand time. Yeah, absolutely clear as you like, even on NCR 75, which tends to be the busiest one. It's the one that goes right across Edinburgh. But yeah, smooth, lovely, absolutely fine. My bike's loved it as well. There she is in the corner.
Your bike, does your bike have a name, Jonas?
It's called Fat Boy. I don't know where that came from, but it stuck. So,
well, as long as you and Fat Boy enjoyed yourselves, and you're right. Actually, you were saying that the route that you've just done is one of the busiest. And I was saying earlier when I was chatting with Naomi as well, it's good though for people to remember that you can walk these routes as well as cycle them. So Days out of plenty.
The kilt walk people all prove that. They're having a grand time stomping along.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for you literally boosting it around. You've managed to get from where? From Leith to North Edinburgh to Colinton in about an hour and 20 minutes. Give yourself a round of applause.
No, it's just made easy, isn't it?
It's that easy, exactly. That easy, and it can be done. Give you a well-deserved break now. You can go back and enjoy the rest of Antonia's performance, and we might catch you again at some other point.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Nick.
Thanks, Jonas. Goodbye. Keep that sun shining. Amazing, amazing. Now, and Emma also agrees, it was amazing. It was beautiful. I'm so glad the sun's come out for all of them. And it's been a great opportunity as well, just to see all the skills and circus skills that we have in Edinburgh as well, thanks to the team from Think Circus. Now, when Jonas was making his way to there, we got a sneaky glimpse of the Colinton Tunnel and the artwork within it. It's an excellent example of modern day community artwork. And the Colinton Tunnel Mural Trust, they work with various primary schools and the local high school, along with other many different community groups, to create this mural that would transform a once dark and dingy and pretty scary, especially at night, tunnel into a bright, fun, beautifully inviting place that now attracts thousands of visitors, and alongside making it a much more welcoming place for everyone that lives in the area that uses that tunnel as a daily commute. Now, the artwork throughout the tunnel was themed on a poem by Robert Louis Stevenson. He spent a lot of time in Colinton as a child, particularly in the summer, because his grandfather was the minister there. And his poem, From a Railway Carriage, is said to be inspired by his train journeys from the city of Edinburgh out to Colinton and the various other places that he went. So I'm going to read that poem to you all now. From a Railway Carriage by Robert Louis Stevenson. Faster than fairies, faster than witches, bridges and houses, hedges and ditches, and charging along like troops in a battle, all through the meadows the horses and cattle. All of the sights of the hill and the plain fly as thick as the driving rain, and ever again, in the wink of an eye, painted stations whistle by. Here is a child who clambers and scrambles, all by himself and gathering brambles. Here is a tramp who stands and gazes, and there is the green for stringing the daisies. Here is a cart run away in the road, lumping alone the man and load. And here is a mill, and there is a river, each a glimpse and gone forever. It's a really beautiful poem, and I think it's an excellent poem to use and an excellent stimulus for what has then been created in the Colinton Tunnel, and I highly recommend that you all take a visit to it at some point over the next little while or so. The tunnel as well, it also celebrates many local heroes. So there is at the golden winged end of the tunnel, which is the last where Jonas exited the tunnel, there's a train there, and all the passengers on that train are the Borrowdale rugby lads. Lots of witches and fairies appear, and they are inspired by local residents that have gone through incredible journeys, some local heroes and celebrities and artists. And it just goes to show you that you can create something totally new if you can imagine it first. So as I say, highly recommend checking it out. Now, we are unfortunately at the end of our journey. We have visited our four corners and we've absolutely shown how easy it is to get around the city without much traffic at all. And remember, you can check it out if you go to the Think Circus website, then you can have a look and check out those routes and try them for yourselves. We would just like to thank the collaborators that have helped work on this project. So that is North Edinburgh Arts, YMCA Edinburgh, Sandy Community Centre, and the Colinton Tunnel Mural Project team. And of course, we also must thank our funders who provided great support here. That's Sustrans, who supported the project throughout, and alongside Transport Scotland Art Routes Fund. And lastly, but by no means least, we need to thank all of you for watching. We hope you will visit some of these places and head out on those paths around Edinburgh. And we also hope that you have enjoyed these performances from both the children and the Think Circus performers. And remember, keep an eye out for wandering circus performers, because you never know when they might turn up. Thank you so much. Goodbye, and get outside and enjoy the rest of this sunny Saturday afternoon. See you.